Hey there, I'm Cole. Before we get into the 1-year jungle tour, take a second to hit the subscribe button, like the video, leave a comment, and if you can, become a channel member like these legends. It's much appreciated. Welcome to the Hilltop in my Rumble in the Jungle series. We are currently a little over a year in game and 24 episodes into the series so far. All mods are in the video description, and my world settings and seed are in episode 1 of the series, if you want to check that out. When the 1.21 update dropped, I wanted to start a new playthrough and do something a little different. After we were mainly living in temperate climates on multiple playthroughs before, I created a hot world to force jungles, savannas, and deserts everywhere. It's almost like playing a completely different game. So without further ado, let's get this base tour kicked off. Let's go. I had stumbled upon this hill top very shortly on spawning into the new world here, and I just thought it would be an awesome place to kind of set up base. And it had two awesome little ponds already here, and I just saw potential for building it up and making some waterfalls and doing all kinds of other cool stuff. So basically, once we get to the top on this awesome little staircase that I built, so it was naturally fairly flat up here. It was kind of like its own little mesa up here. So I went ahead and kind of built a starting building. Just a starting little base hut that we could get into. I really wanted to incorporate, all the hot biome, the jungle biome woods. So we have plenty of bamboo, plenty of acacia, and plenty of ebony kind of incorporated into the builds. But this was kind of the first little starter hut that I made. And it's got a nice little balcony. In the hotter climates, you don't have to worry about freezing in the winter. You don't have to worry about sealing up your houses. So in true jungle fashion, I use a lot of fencing. There's a lot of open areas. Gives a different vibe to kind of the buildings and not having to worry about snow in winter. It is a beautiful environment. Everything is all nice and lush and green, and it really has been a different experience than your usual vintage story playthrough. So we kind of have everything that we needed in this one little house. I do have a little bedroom up here, and then we also have a little cellar room down here. So that's kind of where we store all our food and goodies. Got some bookshelves and whatnot. I used to have all the storage chests on this wall, but I recently just built a dedicated storage building. So along with that guy, we had to make a little structure for our pit kilns and everything, keep them out of the rain and whatnot. And then we do have a dedicated little charcoal pit here that I kind of made, which I really like. Use a lot of the prototype cobblestone, and then I also mixed it with, kind of granite here and there too, which I think is a neat little complement to each other. So the next building we built was a nice little forge area here. So we've got the 5-sail windmill made, almost completely out of beams and everything, which I think is a nice little touch. But we do have just a modest little forge area with some anvils. Have gotten into the iron and meteoric iron age already. Just have one, simple little axle coming in that runs both the helve hammer, and then we can pop the quern on it when we need to grind stuff up. Yeah, just have some basic ore storage. Got a couple of forges here. Nice little area to chill out and pan bony soil when I feel like it. And got all our tools and everything. So I had a lot of fun playing with beams. Adding those to the builds and everything. And using the bamboo roofing, which I really dig for the jungle vibe and everything. Then coming out here, the next thing I made was kind of a little back area here. This is kind of I call it the back 40. It's a nice little garden area. So if you don't know, there are some different crops and stuff down in the hot climates. I do have some of the standards. It does get really hot in the summer, so the ideal grow time is actually in the winter when it does cool off a lot. But it will get up over 100, up to 120 or so degrees in the summertime. So this is kind of my final crop. As we're coming into summer, everything's already a little heat stressed and everything. But we do have some fun stuff. Lots of pineapples. We've got peanuts, sunflowers, and there are several other, a lot of rice grain we got growing and everything. And there are other crops you can grow, like cassavas, soybeans, but these are kind of the ones I prefer. You know, as far as peanuts are a great source of protein. You know, of course, the rice grain is awesome. And then, I mean, everybody loves cabbages, so lucky enough to find cabbage seeds from cracked vessels and whatnot, seed vessels. But did kind of just flesh this area out. We've got lots of flowers. I've added all my bees and everything are over here in their papyrus skeps. And my favorite is the hot climate fruit trees and whatnot. So completely different. Gone are the apples, pears, and cherries. And now we get to play with olive trees. We've got pomegranates, mango trees. We've got orange trees. Just all kinds of greenery growing back here. We've got lychees. There are also breadfruits, which I have not had very much success as far as propagating those. I think I do have some over at the front there, but kind of just spruced it up. Got a bunch of flowers. Another thing about the hot climate, there's not a lot of native flowers down here, so it's pretty much just the orange mallows and these golden poppies are just about the only thing you can find kind of in the savanna areas. But I did found some high mountains that I was able to go up that have a little more temperate climates. Grab some of the usual staples from the flower world, just to keep my bees happy over here. But just have a few pathways and everything. Made up a little garden shed where we're doing up some compost. Got all my seed and plant storage kind of back here. But this is a beautiful area. I just love coming and hanging out here, watching the sunrise. And we got the sun setting over there. So yeah, this is just an area that just kind of makes me happy. So one of the other projects that we've had done in the series is our own little kind of tide pool coral area here. That was fun. So I went all the way over to the ocean and brought home some salt water. And then made my own little coral zoo over here. And it's just kind of a fun little thing. It was more of an experiment than anything to see if I could do it. But it is pretty cool. Had some nice little color and something different. There was kind of just a weird little hole here to begin with, so I just kind of added that in just for fun. I do have a lot of plans for this this hilltop. So I had gotten some redwood seeds, and so we do have a couple of redwoods growing up here. And in the future, I'm going to build a treehouse windmill once these redwoods kind of grow up and I have a nice little stable platform to build them on. So that's just some of the future plans. So our latest build, and the reason why this video update is a little over a year and not exactly at a year, is because I was in the middle of building this thing. Took a couple of days, just a nice little storage, kind of storehouse, storage building that I made, because I was running out of room in that guy. So we've got that all set up. So this is going to be our main storage place. Once again, using all the acacia, the ebony wood. Started to incorporate a little bit of purple heart as far as the crates and everything. And then we have the beautiful roof from the OneRoof mod. So this is the first build I used OneRoof on. Can't say enough good things about it. It is excellent. Alright, so we also made a little pool here, because we did have this natural pond there, and there's one over there on that side. I do have a lot more plans with this area as well, but I decided we needed a big waterfall going down. Another huge project was this stairway, so I was just climbing the mountain to get up here, but I figured I needed a little easier way to get up here, something that was lit up, easy to find, and that's where this big old staircase came in. Along with the staircase, I decided to make this is the pondering pool. So just a nice made some little waterfalls coming out the side of the mountain, and just like a chill little area, along with a nice chiseled little bench, you know, just so you can kind of hang out, collect your thoughts, figure out what I'm going to do for the next episode. But coming down the rest of the stairs, I do have some more fruit trees down here. This is where we got our breadfruit, you know, more mango, more orange trees, more lychee. So just kind of a nice little, cool little entrance coming up here. And you can see the other little pond that I have down here. I did make a little stream coming out of the pondering pool that goes underneath the bridge and then drops right down into here. And this is where I have my papyrus farm. So anytime I need papyrus, I just come down here with the scythe and, you know, collect all that good stuff up. So another thing, we do have a little farm going. Right now it's just chickens. I do plan on expanding it to pigs and goats. But the chickens were really the only thing in this area. So I've had them down here for a little bit. They've been reproducing and getting the population up. So we got plenty of eggs, plenty of chickens for feathers, make arrows and everything. So eventually down here I will have, you know, maybe a pig pen, and then a goat or a sheep pen or whatever. You just have a little storage in here. I just feed them my excess flax grain for now. But yeah, as far as the building, that's pretty much everything we've accomplished in the first year. Like I said, I have a ton more plans to go. A lot more stuff I want to build, and we're just gonna keep this series going for however many years that it takes to get it complete. But we do have a lot more land to work with. I do have some cool little spires over here. I want to incorporate a few other things that I have in my head to make this a cool little place. So here's the layout on the map. You can see everything that we made there. We got the staircase, the original building, the forge building. Here's the back garden area, all the flowers, the tide pool, and then the storehouse right here, and that is the waterfall pool there. So as far as exploration, I am a serial map marker, so you know, ignore the 300 or so map markers I have. Haven't done a lot of exploring. I've kind of got the general area down, and then there's some kind of ocean over here, and then I knew there was an ocean here. So on one of the trips we did take a big raft trip around and found out that this is actually just a giant sea. So we went around, checked out all the corners of it, and it loops right back around to this little bay here. So we do have a lot of neat stuff. There's this is a big chalk desert, a limestone desert here. So as far as the biomes that I get with the hot climate, you know, we get the, of course, desert biomes. We get the jungly, the real green jungle biomes that are dominated by bamboo. And then we have like your savanna type biomes. These have a lot of acacias, ebony trees in them. And this is where you'll find the hyenas. So one of the benefits, besides not having snow or winter really that you have to worry about, is there's no wolves and there's no aggressive bears. So there are panda bears and there are sun bears, but they're not aggressive until you attack them. So it's kind of nice. And then the hyenas, I'll take 10 hyenas over one wolf any day. But in the future, there will be more exploration. And one of the projects I'm going to be doing fairly soon is we're going to build the sailboat and kind of get it out here. I haven't done any of the story, haven't gone to the Residence Archives yet. I did reveal it. It is marked on the map. And it lives right up here. So I think the sailboat will be a good method of travel to get there, and then also to bring all the loot and goodies back home after we do that. But that'll be coming up soon in the series as well. So basically this is where we're at. So why I think you should try out a hot climate if you've just been playing in temperate. Hot is a little different. It does add, kind of feels like a new game sometimes. So as far as the different fruit trees, the different crops and stuff you can grow, and just the different scenery, there's a lot of stuff you can do with bamboo as far as roofing and fencing and stuff. And it's just kind of a neat little change up. You know, I had about an 80 episode series of just the regular temperate stuff, and it's just a nice refreshing change up of stuff. You know, you see different trees, see different flowers, see different animals and whatnot. You know, there's lots of gazelle down here. There's little spotted goats. Like I said, there's the sun bears. There's panda bears, which are all super cool. And then just being able to build with stuff like ebony and acacia. You know, in a temperate world, you got to travel really far to get your hands on stuff like that. And then even stuff like redwood, which is a little easier to travel down to get from a temperate world. And of course having lots of vines and stuff around, but you know, like I said, there's panda bears here. There's good old sun bears. And we do have a full set of sun bear. I am going to make the full set of panda bear as soon as I get another panda bear pelt. Fantastic addition to the game. The bear armors and the bear rugs. I love them. So, on that note, looks like the sun's going down. I will say that sunrises and sunsets are just absolutely amazing in the hot climate as well. You gotta get a lot of oranges, pinks, and purples and stuff, and it just seems like they're a lot more beautiful than the regular temperate. But that being said, being up here on the jungle hilltop, I love having the views that I have, and it just seems like there's endless opportunity for you know, different style builds and using some of the different materials, as well as, you know, planting tons of bamboo, because it is just has a neat feel to it. Well, I hope you guys enjoyed just the little 1-year update here on the Rumble in the Jungle series. If you want to see how I got to this point, there's a playlist on my channel called Rumble in the Jungle, and it'll start from day one moving forward. So as a reminder, the first episode does have the world settings and the world seed, if you wanted to check out this seed as well. So that's all in the first episode of the Rumble in the Jungle series. So I want to thank you guys for coming along the journey and for supporting me every step of the way. I appreciate it. And we will see you in the next episode. We'll also see you after a year or two. But we'll just look at the beautiful skies as the sun goes down.